What's up, Wolf Empire? This your host and one and only Shon-TheWolf. I just want to talk to you all today about the market. The market is currently dropping pretty fast. Don't panic. We already went over this last Friday to not overexpose our portfolios. And also, we knew ahead of time that the government reopening wasn't a catalyst to send the market higher. It was just a catalyst to open up more uncertainty because we were going to get data that we hadn't gotten in a long time. And we covered all this Friday and we went over it again on Monday and Tuesday. So here we are today on Thursday. And our game plan was to put some cash on the sidelines, trim some positions on Wednesday so that we're not panicking with the rest of the market because we understand how this thing works. So let's take a deep dive into the market and we will see what went wrong, what went right, and what we can do better next go around. So, what went wrong? So, a lot of times when you're in the market, the reason why I was trying to proceed with caution, when you get experience in the market, you know when something's wrong and something's kind of setting up like a trap. And so that's why red flags were going off for me last week when our WTMA, the Wolf Trend Moving Average, the candle started slipping in the inside of that, which let me know that smart money was already trying to exit the market and they were taking profit. So I could see that ahead of time. So I knew that they were going to try to drop this market and they were preparing for a drop. So that's why I started warning you guys ahead of time. And since you had the same chart as me, you can see the same thing. You just have to learn how to read it just as good as I do. And we have all the tools for that. The thing that went wrong today is that Trump decided to block the data from coming out. So probably the data was bad. So that left a bad taste in smart money's mouth. And it also left a bad taste in my mouth because I was anticipating this data so that I could make an informed investment decision that was taken from us. So we don't know what the labor market really looks like. We don't know what inflation really looks like. So what do you do in a situation like that if you're a billionaire or you're a person that manages trillions of dollars? You just take your money out of the market until you get clarity. So looking at the current dip on the spot right now, they're just going to downsize some of their positions to take some risk off the table. But the real rubber's going to meet the road next week if we don't get any data next week, because I look at the economic calendar and it's not on the calendar for next week. So if we don't get any data next week, you can expect a bigger drop to happen. But the Super Bowl of all stocks are reporting next week, and that'll be Nvidia. So the whole market's gonna keep their eye on Nvidia. We have billionaires that are shorting that stock and shorting everything in AI. And so the truth will be out when Nvidia reports earnings next week. So we're going to stay tuned to that and make sure that we're prepared. And either way, we don't care if the market goes up or down because we're the wolf pack. And so we're going to play either direction. And before I get out of here, I just want to let you all know that this game is a game that anybody can play. And with the resources that I'm giving you and our customized tools, you're going to be an elite trader. The only thing stopping you from doing that is hard work and putting time in the seat. But we have the resources. You got the right leader, and we got the right chart to dominate the market. So just stay locked in.